At its core, an ICEP, uh, the Integrated Climate and Energy Plan, is a single evidence-based plan that brings together climate mitigation, climate adaptation, and energy planning into one coordinated strategy for a territory, whether that's a municipality or a whole region. What really sets it apart from traditional plans is this idea of integration. Instead of tackling energy transport or adaptation separately, an ICEP plans everything together. Buildings, mobility, land use, local energy generation, and social measures. This way, you can spot synergies and avoid conflicts. For example, instead of just installing solar panels, an ICEP might also look at how to insulate homes to reduce energy demand. So compared to single focus plans, which often miss these opportunities, an ICEP helps prioritize actions, coordinate financing, and engage stakeholders across all sectors in a consistent way. Sure, yes. At the national level, we have the NECPs, the National Energy and Climate Plans. These are required by the EU rules and set national targets and policies to meet the 2030 EU climate and energy goals. Then at the local level, we have on one side the CCAPs, the Sustainable Energy and Climate Action Plans. Usually, they're used by cities and towns, but we know also joint CCAPs that can group a number of municipalities, usually those with similar challenges or simply just neighboring municipalities, and up to a whole region, for example, in a joint CCAP. So CCAPs translate the big ambitious goals of the EU and the Covenant of Mayors directly into the local projects and measures. And the participation is voluntary, but they follow all a common methodology, reporting, and guidance. The ICEPs, they usually sit somewhere in between, often at the regional or municipal scale. They can overlap with CCAPs but follow more the national targets set in the NECPs. Their legal status depends on the country or region. Sometimes they are voluntary, sometimes a part of formal planning requirements. But the key is that ICEPs link local action back to the national NECPs. Well, ICEPs aren't just about a set of targets. Their main purpose is to be practical, not just strategical. They aim to lower local energy bills and reduce energy poverty through energy renovations, social programs, create local jobs in construction, renewables, and services, and boost energy independence through local generation and smart demand management. They also help attract investment because a clear integrated plan makes projects less risky. On top of that, they improve resilience to climate impacts, green infrastructure or heat wave preparedness, and contribute to cleaner air and better public health. Essentially, ICEPs make climate and energy planning tangible and relevant for both citizens and businesses. Well, especially for small municipalities, the combination of building efficiency and rooftop solar offers the quickest and most reliable impact. Energy renovation of buildings, especially public buildings, is often called the first fuel because it reduces demand and lowers the bills directly and pays back relatively quickly. With other words, it gives immediate results. Adding rooftop photovoltaics on small community or renewables can also be very fast implemented. It creates local ownership opportunities and keeps benefits within the community. E-mobility is important, but it usually requires more upfront investment, grid upgrades, behavior change. So it's generally more a medium-term priority after efficiency and local renewables. Well, we could say that the local capacity is really the engine of the implementation. NECPs set the national direction, but the ICEPs that translate that into real action on the ground, identifying concrete projects, mobilizing communities, making funding usable for local investments. This is particularly important in rural or remote areas where solutions like district heating, biomass, community solar PV or microgrids have to be tailored locally by building technical skills and administrative capacity at the local level. We bridge the gap between national ambition and actual emission reductions, and in that way, speeding up the delivery of the EU 2030 goals. Engagement work best when it's early and inclusive. So you want to involve citizens, businesses, NGOs, utilities right from the start through co-creation workshops or stakeholder panels. Transparency helps too. So share local energy and emission data and explain who benefits from each project or action. Supporting local champions, cooperatives, and community energy models gives people a real stake. Capacity building is key. Municipal staff and local SMEs need the technical skills to make project bankable. Finally, communication should be clear and simple. So visual roadmaps, measurable milestones, accessible reporting to go a long way in keeping everyone aligned and motivated. So I think that's a successful strategy for engaging. I think there are several economic benefits for municipalities. First, as you already mentioned there, the lower operating costs, so energy savings in public buildings and municipal fleets reduce the municipal spending. Second, ISEP helps to attract investments, creating a transparent project pipeline that appeals to EU, national, and private funders. Third, local jobs and SME growth. Energy renovations and renewable projects generate employment in construction, installation, and services. Then there's the resilience to energy price shocks. Local generation and efficiency makes budgets more predictable. And finally, long-term asset value. Uh, that means that energy efficient buildings hold their value better and are less exposed to market or regulatory changes. Well, I would say that we're all the time talking more or less about the same challenges, and that's also in this case, I would say that the biggest challenges are financing and administrative capacity. So many small municipalities struggle to secure co-financing or design projects that attract investors. Even with EU funding available, there are complex rules and matching the requirements can be a huge barrier let's say for especially for small municipalities. And second challenge, as mentioned, is administrative. Small municipalities often have limited staff, technical expertise, and experience with permitting processes for renewables or grid upgrades. Strengthening the project development capacity and simplifying permitting are typical ways to overcome these barriers, I would say. Well, I believe that the key is adopting energy efficiency first mindset combined with local empowerment. So in practice, that means always prioritizing actions that go in the direction of demand reduction, smarter use of existing assets before building new energy supply. At the same time, municipalities need the capacity to develop, finance, and even own project themselves through support with project development, simpler permitting, and local revenue models. So efficiency first reduces costs and makes the investments far more attractive. And if combined with local empowerment, it allows scalable, community anchored transitions. So, uh, to wrap up, I would say that the municipalities, even though they sometimes lack capacity or expertise, it actually is not that important, even though are we talking about ICEPs or CCAPs, the municipality should take the opportunities they have to build the capacity. Don't worry if there is no or if you think there's not enough expertise. There are organizations, partners who will support you in this process, especially when we're talking about energy agencies which aim to this specific support for you. So I think there is the expertise. You can build the capacities, the knowledge, and just be very inclusive and transparent in these processes, which means involve the citizens, the businesses, the let's say the key stakeholders in the process, and build in this direction. And also when we're talking about Finances, I think there's a lot available on the national and the EU level. So just use these opportunities because you're actually building for a more secure and healthy future for all.